Hey everyone, it's me, the Sun Nephilim here. This is how I assembled this Seraph blade. In this video I shall show you how I assembled it, what glue I have used. Sadly I did not record the priming for this because I'm an absolute moron. I sanded it down, I glued it, I even filled it, sanded it some more, and this is what I got. So let's get into it. So now I have actually primed the sword itself. I'm going to show you what I'm actually going to be using, like from the primer, the actual paint that I'll be using, along with the clear coat and any other things that I may be doing. So this is what I'm going to be using. I have used this surface primer because it's in grey, it's matte. Don't know why I use matte ones. I think to me it makes the silver pop a bit more. And I used, these are all Rust-Oleum, and I'm currently using the chrome one, which I used on my daggers here for Loki, as well as my sword for Gamora, but that's been heavily weathered. It won't be exactly like this, and that's the clear coat, and it's gloss. I'll be using that one right at the end with the exact same brand, but I'll be using like the little Warhammer paints for the weathering and stuff. I painted the top so I know exactly what they would look like. And that's like a darkest silver. This I normally use for, say, highlighting. And that's like a very bright silver. That I'll be using for the large runes. And I'm going to be mixing some of that with the black on like the handle grippy part of the sword. So that's everything I'll be using. Yes, I have some more paints down there. But that's all I'll be using on this sword for now. So here is the Seraph blade. The only thing I already have an issue with is that if you look here, some of the runes do not really line up properly. But the detailing is really amazing. So let's get into building this. So one thing that the seller does state, the material is PLA for this, well, for the entire blade. He also sells the file so you can 3D print it yourself. I shall leave his shop description shop link in the description below. The sword model is 30 inches in length when all together. It is a 4-part kit. He does give me some dowels to put in because, as you can see, there is some holes here on every single piece. Including on the tip as well. And here. And he says as well, you will need to use super glue and epoxy to assemble. I recommend Gorilla Glue. The other thing is, I have some. I use this for all of my builds. I've done it for my build for my gun thing, for this, for Luce Lazarus. And I used it all on my stuff for Gamora. It's currently having to be repaired because one of the caps knocked off my shelf, and I am actually going to have it mounted on my wall, same with everything else. But that's it for a while. He also says to use acrylic based painting. Every time I'm painting a blade or a prop, I always use acrylic paints because they're easier for me to use. So let's get into building this. Hey Moo, you happy for my Seraph blade? Yeah, let's get into it then. So each one of these blades, as you can tell, has a rune onto them. And I know this one here is promised, and I believe it's in my book. Just double check. Yeah, this one on the tip is promised. This one here is protected, and if I can find this one, I believe it's craft. I believe it is craft. Yeah, it's craft. This one is craft. And what I'm currently using to figure out what the rules are is this book right here. But anyway, I'm going to start sanding these parts down to get them ready to be glued together. And as well, I have found out that the Seraph blades, let me find the image, this blade part here is a lighter silver than this. So it's kind of like this one's been polished and this is just like dark. I can't really think of the right terminology, but for now I'm going to start building and get everything ready. So let's get to that.
Don't know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. About to shake the ground, you feel it moving with the revolution. What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down. Ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10.
So I've already noticed an issue. I've glued these in and the holes do not line up whatsoever, as you can see just there. This part's meant to be facing up, so what I'm gonna have to do is do that. Yeah, they're not going in. So I've just figured out it's like that. I had it on the wrong end. That was my bad. I'm sorry. That was on me, no one else.
For a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head.
this is what I've been using as a reference, and this is what I got to so far. Everything's been sanded. If you're wondering why I'm using this tape, is to hold the parts together while they dry. I'm going to leave this for an hour, then I will start filling in some of the gaps here using a pour man method, which is just normal super glue with baby powder, and that's to fill in all the gaps here. Or I might just use, if I can find it, because I did have some of it down here. Oh, there it is. I am going to use either some of this, and this is like the filler. This is what I used on my Gamora sword down here to try and hide some of the seam lines. I didn't really use it on the prop for Luce or for Loki, because Loki's were already assembled, but I'm going to leave this for an hour for now.